Year 2 in the Las Vegas Raiders franchise on Madden 26 has come to an end, and what a season it was. We went 10-7 in the regular season, went from picking 6th overall in the draft to making the playoffs and winning a playoff game. It may have taken a blizzard in Buffalo to even the score enough for us to sneak out with a 3-point win, but then we go to Cincinnati, we take the Bengals offense, the best offense in the league, down to the wire and lose by a touchdown. It was a very successful year with a bittersweet ending. And today, we try and build off of it, try and get over the hump to turn this team from a happy-go-lucky, good-feeling playoff team to a real Super Bowl contender. Welcome back to the Raiders franchise, everybody. I am very, very excited to get into this offseason. I've been preparing for this. I have a plan. I already talked about a little bit what my goals were at the end of the last episode after we lost to the Bengals. I have big plans for this team, and we have the draft capital and the cap space to do it. So let's go ahead without further ado and get into it. First, we got to end this season, end 2026, and then get ourselves into the 2027 off season. The Super Bowl matchup is set. It will be the Cincinnati Bengals, who defeated us. They took down the New England Patriots 31-14, taking on the Detroit Lions, who were the 1 seed in the NFC. They beat the Cowboys 21-14. So I'm sorry, Cowboys fans, but as an Eagles fan, I gotta let you know that you may have made your first conference championship since 1995, but you don't get to go to the Super Bowl just yet. Instead, the Lions make the big game, and we now have the Pro Bowl. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Pro Bowl roster. I already got an idea of a couple guys that should be in here. Ashton Jeanty is the starting running back. Great for him. Congratulations, Ashton. Jack Westover, our fullback, makes it onto the Pro Bowl roster. Brock Bowers is a starting tight end. I thought that maybe we would get both tight ends with Michael Mayer, how good he was this year. He does not make it, though. Instead, it's Noah Gray. He had a very good year for the Chiefs in his own right. Colton Miller makes it as a Pro Bowler, so the veteran gets another Pro Bowl appearance. Steve Holloway, the rookie, is able to make it in his first season. That's a very, very nice job by Holloway. He's already one of the best guards in the league. And that is going to be it for the offensive side. On to the defense. I don't see anyone here along the defensive line. I don't think any of our linebackers are going to make it. Cody Barton! Okay, I stand corrected. Cody Barton does make it. Our free agency signing from last offseason, the big move that we made, does pay off. He does make the Pro Bowl. That's good for Cody. Now, let's see. Anyone else in the secondary? I'm thinking maybe we get Terrell Carey as the returner. Do we? Who the heck is Drayton? Ricky Drayton had 3 kickoff returns the entire year for a long of 28. I'm sorry, Terrell Carey had over 1,000 return yards this year. And he was one of 3 players to return a kickoff for a touchdown. What is this? This is robbery, NFL. The same children that voted Shadur Sanders into the Pro Bowl just kept Terrell Carey out. Unbelievable. Absolute highway robbery. I can't believe it. Terrell, I'm so sorry. We do have a storyline, however. Talking about player recognition, it's coming from one of our coordinators. Let's see who it is. Let's see. Who are we meeting with? I think this is our offensive coordinator. It is Brandon Starks. So let's go ahead, see what options we have for players that we can give some props to. Ashton Jeanty, who we're talking about. Yeah, he had absolutely an incredible year. We got to give props to him. He held the rushing title. He definitely deserves the recognition. Yeah, I think we got to give it all to Ashton, honestly. I want to give it to Starks a little bit, but at the end of the day, Jeanty's just that good. I mean, 4,500 XP, that's it. He had 1,700 yards and 18 touchdowns. I mean, we could give him a bit more than that. Are you kidding me? It's time to view the yearly awards. We went over in the Bills playoff game episode where the race was last. MVP goes to Joe Burrow. I kind of predicted that would happen. Forrest Valentine, the rookie for the Rams, comes in third. Absolutely fantastic start to his career. with LA. That's great for him. Coach of the year goes to Sean McVay. We come in second with Jamarcus Russell. Offensive player of the year goes to Jamar Chase. Ashton Jeanty comes in third. Defensive player of the year is Tuli Tuipulotu for the Los Angeles Chargers. And offensive rookie of the year goes to our very own quarterback, Dale Burton. We don't even know what his dev is because he didn't start all the year. So he's probably going to get a dev upgrade. I mean, does that mean he has guaranteed minimum superstar dev? Because if so, that's absolutely huge. He beats out Owen Cousins, who started the whole year for the Jets. Defensive rookie of the year does go to Terrell Jarrett, their star defensive tackle. Aiden Allen, another star defensive tackle, comes in second. Tommy Donaldson in third. Brendan Mays in sixth. CJ Clayton only in ninth. I would argue Clayton was more impactful than Mays. Mays had a strong start, but Clayton was very good down the stretch. Ashton Jeanty does win best running back. I don't think I would expect any other awards. What? Terry Weary won best offensive lineman? I'm sorry, Terry Weary didn't start like after the Seahawks game. What are we doing here, Madden? Jackson Powers Johnson comes in third. That would be much more useful to give it to JPJ. But Weary, the day 3 pick from last year with the very interesting haircut, ends up taking home the hardware. Tuli Tuipulotu wins best defensive lineman. Best linebacker, Cody Barton, comes in second behind Zaire Franklin. And that is it for our awards. We do take home a little bit of hardware. Best running back, offensive rookie of the year, and best offensive lineman, apparently. Terry Weary does get 2 upgrade points. I don't know if this will result in a dev trait upgrade for him, but let's give these to him. We'll go into Agile here. Get his ability to run some more zone scheme up. I think he may have just unlocked another one by leveling up a couple of times. Let's see. He does get a dev trait boost to star. So that's really interesting because I was starting Caleb Rogers over him. And I thought Rogers played really well. So we're going to have a legit competition at right guard now going into next year, which I'm all for. You know, you can never have too many good offensive linemen. So I'm all for this. Ashton Jeanty does get 1 upgrade point here. We'll put it into power back to guarantee that he is a scheme fit. And I wonder, do we get a dev trait boost? We do. Ashton Jeanty is now a superstar X Factor running back. So he gets one of those nice, sexy X Factor abilities. He's already got reach for it, tireless runner, and jukebox. Let's see what we can give him. I do think this freight train ability works best for Jeanty. Very high chance to break the next tackle. You know, Genty's just a contact balance menace. So I think we're going to give him that. And then last, but certainly not least, our guy, quarterback Dale Burton. He's going to get 1 upgrade point here into improviser. That'll boost him up to a 75 overall. Nice upgrade here. And an ability slot. So you know what that means, everybody. We have a superstar quarterback on our hands. Dale Burton, we traded for him at the deadline. Was going to be a backup that just rusted away on the Commanders. Instead, he's got a shot. He takes it. I don't know what there is for abilities we can give him right now. Probably nothing great. I'll give him tight out. We did target tight ends a lot in this offense, so we'll go ahead and give that to him for right now. There's nothing really good for quarterbacks at his rating, but that's great for his development. It's a great time for the menus to be super, super slow after Madden broke the menus with their last update. Things are just so pathetically slow now, but we're going to work our way through it. On to the offseason, the Super Bowl between the Bengals and the Lions. 2 teams that really, I don't care who wins here. I guess the Lions I'd prefer because the Bengals knocked us out, but Bengals fans deserve this. Both franchises deserve it. And it looks like we had an absolute classic on our hands as the Lions take down the Bengals 34-31 to win their first Super Bowl in franchise history. What happened here? Oh, it went to overtime. Wow. What a game in terms of yardage. My goodness. 4 touchdowns for Burrow. Wow. this looks like it was an absolute thriller of a game, but this gets into what I'm talking about. Both of these offenses, insanely explosive. That's not what our offense was. Despite what the numbers may say in the points per game, ignore those, right? We had a couple blowouts because sliders got messed up due to an update and we blew out some teams. Our offense wasn't explosive. We didn't have that element in our offense that, like I said last episode, put the fear of God into teams. And that's my goal in this offseason. We got a couple more small upgrades here. I'll go ahead and do these real quick and then get back to you. But you take a look at the Bengals and Lions offenses. Those have a lot of playmakers. Very explosive offenses. That's what we need to try and emulate. Along with getting some talent on our defense to make sure that we are not the 32nd ranked defense in points per game allowed again. Taking a look at some retirements, I did see that Devontae Adams and Demario Davis retired. Eric Kendricks also steps away. Antonio Gibson retires. So Antonio Gibson was actually going to be a target of mine in free agency to be a perfect running back too. I loved Antonio Gibson. And this makes me feel old. I'm not old. But I watched Antonio Gibson play in college. I went to Memphis games and watched him, and he was amazing. And he retires? Goodness. DJ Reader, Javon Hargrave, Khalil Mack, former Raider, retires. Travis Kelce retires. Kyle Juszczyk, lots of young running backs retiring. Wow. Jake Matthews, Keenan Allen, Levante David. Some real stalwarts of this game. Time to make some decisions about our staff. I think offensively, I want to keep Brandon Starks. I think Starks was very, very good this year. And there's no reason for us to move on from him. I think defensively, Roy Walker, you see that job security down to a 54? You know, I kind of agree with that. I think that our defense wasn't great, and I think Roy Walker kind of was a reason why. We kept him around after season 1 to have some continuity, but I think at this point we can do better than Roy Walker. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to move on from him. We had one of the worst defenses in the league. So we need to go ahead and fill our defensive coordinator position. Let's see what is available. Pete Carroll is available. I don't know if he's going to be willing to come back to the Raiders after letting him go for Jamarcus Russell. I think we will pass. And we can't see what the actual ratings on these guys are. So we're really going to just have to base it off of what their splits look like. And these guys all kind of look the same. So I think we're going to go ahead and just go with Stephen Mayer here. They all had the same splits. So we'll go ahead, we'll hire Mayer as our new defensive coordinator. This does remind me, however, that I definitely need to use my staff points. I got 217 of these things. So we definitely got to go ahead and use some of them. And I definitely think focusing on improving our edge rush is going to be very, very big for us this year. We did not get a lot of production from them. So I'm going to put some of my points in here to max out the bookend Buster's ability to increase power and finesse move. I like these ratings that talk more about not directly increasing, like, oh, +7 or whatever for ratings. Because this, I feel like, is just a bit cheesy. This stuff looks like more chance. You know, it's not guaranteed. We're going to go ahead and invest in this cool under pressure ability here to reduce pocket pressure impacts on the quarterback. Definitely want Dale Burton to be kind of that improviser type, so increase his chances of breaking sacks, reduce pressure effects. We definitely saw some issues with that in the playoff game against Cincinnati. I think that's one of the abilities I'm going to stick with right now. And let's go ahead and take a look at mock draft number 4. This is where things really kind of start to come together. So Cleveland ends up getting the first overall pick. They're projected to take Mike Studebaker, a left tackle. Remember, this is a very strong tackle class and corner class. We got a number of really nice tackles here at the top. The Jets with the Colts pick are projected to pick 2nd overall. And just taking a look at where some guys are supposed to go. We'll talk more about the guys that I like and where I want to go in the draft as we get a bit closer to things going here. Glenn Ramsey, our projected pick here. I really like this. Ramsey's a guy that I like and I would love to take. This is with a Seahawks pick. So Ramsey, he comes in 6'2", 265 as a speed rusher, really stocky kind of build. The A finesse move is extremely nice. His athletic profile will know more once he tests, but I see really, really great get off. The run defense does concern me a little bit, but I'd like to think that, you know, he's got such a high floor with that pass rushing, we can improve the run defense. But he's got an elite pass rush move. He's got elite athleticism. I really, really like Glenn Ramsey a lot. And the fact that he's projected to slide all the way down to us with that 18th pick, I feel really good there because I feel like we're going to have to make some moves. There are a lot of guys that I like in the first 2-round range. And I was worried that I was going to have to trade up. At least seeing there that Ramsey will make it to that Seahawks pick, at least right now, I feel pretty good. His other team fits are the Vikings and the Commanders. Commanders pick at 16, Vikings pick at 14, but they're not projected to go the way of edge. So Ramsey right now looks like he could make it to us. And we're projected to take a tackle with our second first-round pick, but that's not going to happen. And no other guys that are my targets are currently projected to go in the first round. So I actually feel really, really good about that. But we will get to know more about the draft class and the prospects as we get a little bit closer and we get some information from the combine. So we're going to go ahead and officially now advance to the offseason. We've already taken care of hiring our coaching staff. So now let's go ahead and look into contract negotiations. We got some interesting moves to make here. First up, we got a layup. We're going to go ahead and accept the 5th-year option on star tight end Brock Bowers. Jeremy Chin, we got another layup here. We're not even going to talk with him. I don't want Jeremy Chin back on this football team. Just go away. Johnny Newton. This is interesting. We gave him an offer earlier in the year, and he was tempted by it. 2 years, $10 million. I do think that Newton would be our 3rd defensive tackle behind Brendan Mays and Tommy Donaldson. I kind of have a plan, though. You know, I think our 3rd defensive tackle needs to be more of a hybrid guy, can play some end in our penny front. Newton was okay, but he wasn't great against the run. I think I might let him walk. Derek Hall. This is interesting because Derek Hall, he was a part of the Max Crosby deal. He's not interested in coming back. He cares about having a mentor at his position. He doesn't. I tried to find one at edge. There's no one there. And I don't know if Derek Hall's production really matches what he should be paid. He didn't really produce that much this year. Also, I have a target in free agency at edge. And we got money. We got money, guys. So I'm willing to throw some money around. I'll talk more about our target, but we have $160 million in cap space. We got money to spend. So Derek Hall, I think I'm going to let him walk. Micah McFadden, we are going to let walk. It was always going to be a 1-year deal for him. He had a good year, had a breakout, got star development. He's going to have a good career somewhere else, but really the plan always was McFadden was the bridge for Sergio Matias to take over starting next season. Now, an interesting decision has to be made here with our slot corners. The 2 guys who played in the slot after we benched Jeremy Chin, Isaiah Polamau and Mekhi Blackman, both played pretty well. Blackman was the one who took over. And you know what? I was really impressed by Mekhi Blackman. He doesn't want a lot of money. He wants a 1-year deal. I think slot is a position that we could upgrade in the draft. It's a great corner class. So a 1-year deal for a reliable slot like Mekhi Blackman kind of tickles my fancy. And Blackman does return on a 1-year, $4.5 million deal. So we have our slot corner guaranteed. Now this is interesting. Michael Mayer, our biggest breakout player from last year, he got bumped up to star dev. He was good. He was really good. But I actually think I'm going to let Michael Mayer walk. Because I have a plan. I've talked about one of the tight ends in this draft class who I absolutely love. And I just think his upside is so much higher than Mayer. I think Mayer's at a low enough overall where we can afford this. We can afford to pay him a little bit more than this. So if things don't look good and I want a security piece, we could bring back Michael Mayer, and I think it won't be that bad, but we're going to let Mayer test, I think. Tyree Wilson. This is interesting. Now, Tyree has not achieved what he should have been as a top 10 pick, but I think he's a decent depth player. He plays well against the run. He's solid, and he wants to be here. He likes the no income tax, the historic championships, and he's a scheme fit. He really, really wants to play here. And again, we have the cap. We have the space. I'm okay giving $7 million to Tyree Wilson. So it's a surprising move because he didn't pan out as a first round pick, but as a depth piece, I'll do it. Another free agent, Sean Tucker. He was our backup running back. I think that in any real situation, Tucker would actually be getting interest to be a starter. He played pretty well. Now, I don't think he'll get that starting interest, so he very well could be back. But I don't think we would re-sign him here, especially with his lack of interest. Our fullback, Jack Westover, made the Pro Bowl. He was good for us. I'd be fine bringing Jack Westover back. A 1-year, $2 million deal, he accepts. So we get our fullback back on the team. A pretty light re-signing period, but we're going to make some moves. All right, time to take a look at the free agency class for this year. I already saw a couple big names hit, including Rashee Rice for the Chiefs. He has 9 teams interested. I will not mind if he decides to leave this division. Other names, Zach Charbonnet, Joey Bosa, Joel Bitonio. All right, not the strongest free agency class, but we can work with what's here, I think. And my big plan for this offseason was to sign Tuli Tuipulotu because he was expected to be a free agent. He gets upgraded to superstar dev after having a fantastic season. The Chargers, though, they do the smart thing and they do re-sign him in the offseason. They go ahead and they franchise tag him a 1-year deal worth $32 million. So Tuipulotu not a free agent after this year. This is probably going to influence my decision on Derek Hall to bring him back because Tuipulotu and Hall kind of play a very similar role to each other. So that is one move that is now off the table. Hall does want a pretty fair contract. He wants 2 years and about $12 million a year. I think for him, that's fair. I'm fine bumping this up to 3 years. I think this is still very, very fair money to give to Derek Hall. A player-friendly deal like this, I'm fine giving him this to start. He only has one other team interested, so we can see if we can just win this battle right here and now. I think this is fair money for Hall. He produces as a run defender and a decent pass rusher, and my plan is to make sure that he's not the best guy moving forward. So I'm going to go ahead and make this offer to him. He likes it. Man, there's just not a lot here in terms of good edge rushers. So Hall, we have familiarity with him. I think we just keep it pretty simple with him. Keon White is a target of mine. He's someone that I like in that kind of versatile hybrid edge defensive tackle role that I was talking about with Johnny Newton, how I didn't feel like we were going to quite get it. Keon White could give it to us. Another guy that I think could is Michael Hoyt. He's more of a finesse rusher like Johnny Newton was, but he's got more speed to him, and he's a pretty solid run defender. I do like Michael Hoyt quite a bit. So I think we have a decision to make between Hoyt and Keon White. I will make an offer to Keon White. He still has some upside as a future starter. I don't want to give him a 2-year deal. We'll start with the 1 year. 1 year for $9 million. Johnny Newton has 3 teams interested in him. He's not very interested in us, so I think we're going to go ahead and let Newton pursue other avenues in his NFL career. We could use some help at defensive tackle. Tyler Davis, that's not a bad idea. He's more of a nose, though. We already have our nose figured out with Tommy Donaldson. One guy that I actually do like, not as his natural position as a corner, But as a safety is Keely Ringo. I am an Eagles fan, so I've seen quite a bit of Keely Ringo so far in his career. He's not a corner. He's way too stiff in the hips to be a corner. He's a safety. He's got the long speed, he's got the size, and he's pretty willing to hit as a corner. I'm going to try and sign Keely Ringo and convert him to safety. At the very worst, he'll be a very nice third safety, kind of what Isaiah Pola-Mao was for us. So we're going to start with a pretty modest offer to him. Michael Mayer does currently have one offer on the table, and I think I'm going to let Mayer go. Darnell Washington is available. I do have a tight end that I love in the draft, but Darnell Washington is basically a sixth offensive lineman. We could go more 3 tight ends, be like Sean McVay, and having Darnell that's terrifying. I really like this. How much does he want though? That's the question. He wants 3 years. A 3-year deal for Darnell Washington. I don't know about that. I would want to sign like 1-year deals, but I think he's a bit better than 1-year deals. You know what, guys? I also just realized that Geno Smith did not retire. So we're still on the books for his contract. The thing is, we could cut him, but he is also a mentor, which will result in increased XP for Dale Burton. And we're not strapped for the cap. So I think ridiculously enough, we're actually going to keep Geno for his mentorship. You know, I was really interested in the idea of bringing in Anthony Richardson as a project player, but he wants a lot of money. He's a guy, like, he's got the ratings to where he could absolutely play. He doesn't have a minimum, so we could offer him like the minimum. But I think some team is actually going to pay Richardson to be their starter. I wanted a guy who could be maybe like a project piece and like a package player who could do a little bit for us as a runner. I think Richardson might be a bit too good. Malik Willis. You know what? Willis, he's not the same Malik Willis who's going to get paid a ton of money this year in free agency. In real life. But if Richardson's going to be so expensive, we can go after Willis instead. And I'll do that. Willis, he'll be a great backup quarterback. Looking around here at running back, the retirement of Antonio Gibson really kind of threw me for a loop. I'm trying to see what other backs are here that would make sense for us. Zach Charbonnet is way too good. He won't take a backup job. All roads might lead back to Sean Tucker. It just might. Ray Davis. This is actually a very interesting move. He's a solid athlete. He's got great size. Break tackle's good. Carrying's good. Tucker had some fumble issues. He can catch the ball out the backfield. I'm sorting by catching here. You know, Ray Davis is a backup. Is pretty good. I love the size. Sean Tucker's down here. We'll go after Ray Davis. He wants to be here. 1 good year as a backup and you can propel yourself in as a starter. So here are my targets for the first round of free agency. The Colts are the team that's going after Derek Hall. Anyone else has submitted offers to any of our guys? No. We look uncontested here. So we're going to go ahead and evaluate our offers. See what happens. We get decisions from 2 of our targets. And we have signed Keely Ringo and Malik Willis. 2 players that I do have plans for. I am going to make an offer here to the best long snapper on the market, Hogan Hatton, at a 76 overall. We're going to give him the very player-friendly deal, try and lock him down for 4 years. A very good deal for a long snapper, won't cost a lot of money. And then we can just kind of set and forget that position. We have very good specialists, and I just want to not have to worry about it. And a guy that I would at least like to start a discussion with is Kwity Paye in case we can't get Derek Hall, I think Pay can play a similar role to Derek Hall. We're going to give him a very modest deal here. Something that I wouldn't expect him to accept, but I want to at least get the offer on the table before, say, something happens where Derek Hall does not accept. And I am going to bump up the money a little bit here to Derek Hall. We will go to 43.5 million here. We have a couple more teams that have joined the bidding war for him, so we're going to bump that offer up a little bit more for him. After evaluating, we have made another signing. It is Hogan Hatton. So our long snapper position is taken care of. Cap space still over $100 million. We're still the favorite for Derek Hall. No one else really has made a decision. And a move has been made. Michael Mayer has signed a 2-year deal with the Los Angeles Rams. This is a great move for the Rams to get a guy like Mayer. That's fantastic to pair him up with Forrest Valentine. This is a great job. This is a great move. Honestly, good for Mayer to come back from his mental health issues to now earn a very good contract with the Rams. To be a definitive starter, that's huge. Rashee Rice signed with the Cardinals. No way. Him, McBride, and Marvin Harrison. Quentin Johnson is his replacement in Kansas City. My gosh, that's a great signing for Arizona. I can't believe that. Wide receiver is a position that I wouldn't mind upgrading, but I would rather do it in the draft. I don't think there's anything here that gets me too excited, and I think I'm going to hold off on making any other offers right now. We're going to go ahead and do our final eval of Phase 1. We get a decision, and it is Derek Hall. He comes back on a 3-year deal worth about $45 million. Not too bad. Again, my goal is to make sure that Derek Hall is not the best edge rusher on this team. I think that he's a very good number 2 edge rusher, provided that you also have some interior rushers, which I think that we do. One move that I am going to be making is cutting Eric Stokes. We did sign him to a 2-year deal last offseason, but with the emergence of Terrell Carey, I want Carey to play. And Stokes, he's getting to that point. He is beginning to regress. He actually didn't regress at all, but Carey, he's a young player. He's got really nice ratings, and I'd rather have him take over than Stokes. I think Carey and Stokes, they're very comparable players. We're going to move on from Stokes. We will incur a slight cap penalty. It's not much, though. Carey is going to be the other outside corner alongside Darian Porter. Now that we've taken care of free agents, at least for the time being, we can go ahead and take a look at some of our prospects in the draft. Some of the top guys here. We'll start with the guys we've already talked about. Let's take a look at Parker Griffin. Oh my goodness, that says 4.35. Holy cow. 6'3", 230 pounds, and a 4.35 40? Wow! 19 reps on the bench. Round 2 to 3 talent. Get out of here. No way. No way that this is a round 2 to 3 talent. A, ball carrier vision. A, carrying. A, catching traffic. A, spec catch. A, run block. Dude, what are we talking about? No way. Parker Griffin, no. Absolutely 100%. A 4.35, that's insane. I was thinking that, oh, maybe this is like the A.J. Brown mold of player. No, that's DK Metcalf. That's nuts. Josh Mann is up to 90% scouted. He was the tight end that I really, really like. I think the guy that I would love to replace Michael Mayer with. Look at that combine. Holy cow. Lots of firsts and seconds there. 27 reps on the bench. That's nuts. Yeah, he's amazing too. Round 2 to 3 talent. Get out of here. No way. No way. No. Absolutely not. He's amazing. Ashton Sarah also had a good combine, but that doesn't compare to what Mann showed us. Absolutely not. We got some guys on day 2 that I'm really, really intrigued in. Taking a look at the scouting report for Glenn Ramsey. Look at that. 4.63, the fastest edge rusher at the combine. That vertical jump, obviously vert only accounts for jumping in Madden, but a vert that good for an edge rusher, that indicates a lot of explosiveness, which is great for get off. The acceleration and the agility is great for him. He's another piece, man. He's a piece, I think, with that finesse move and that kind of athleticism. He is absolutely a piece. And then Chauncey Cherry, we've talked about him already. He should have an elite workout, and he absolutely does. Look at that. Look at that. The 4.51. Amazing. Absolutely amazing athleticism. So he's bumped up to around 1 to 2 talent. Dude, we got some guys. F injury does scare me, but we got some guys. Those 4 guys are really kind of the entire foundation of my offseason. A wide receiver and tight end that certainly put the fear of God into you, I would say. An edge rusher that can help generate some more pass rush. I'm just checking their injuries. Where is Josh Mann at? A to B, that's perfect. And then Parker Griffin, D. As long as it's not F, that's what I really care about. Mock draft 5 now. This is the one that is the most predictive. Anything changing here? We don't get a tackle taken by the Jets. Eli Lewis, the edge rusher, instead is the one who is going. Cardinals projected to take quarterback. Glenn Ramsey jumps up to 8th to the Jets. 2 edge rushers to the Jets? Really? Is that really what they're going to do? I would be very surprised if they actually do that, but now that concerns me a bit. Ramsey's a big target of mine. Big run on corners here. We got 5 going in a row from 10 to 15. Has us taking Gabriel Ross. That's not going to happen. And then another tackle. Yeah, I mean, so none of our other targets are projected to go. But we might have to make a move to get up ahead of the Jets if we want to take Glenn Ramsey. As far as other edge rushers, there is Carlos Odin, who fits a similar bill to that of Ramsey. He's not quite the explosive athlete that Ramsey is with the top end speed, but he does show really good acceleration. The vert is very good. He's still very explosive, and he comes in, he still has that A finesse move. The block shedding's low. If Ramsey can't happen, Odin wouldn't be the worst consolation for us still to get a very good pass rusher. He's just not quite the same explosive athlete. Check this out. How about CJ Hicks right here? He's a day 3 projected corner with a round 1 talent grade. Really, really nice coverage ratings. And the athleticism, dude, that's fine. That's totally fine. What really stands out to me about him, though, is the B block shed and the A tackling. He could be a guy, a long-term developmental guy, to maybe take over from Mekhi Blackman. A guy who can play in the slot. You know, I don't really care about size in the slot. I think that anyone can play in the slot if they have the tenacity to do it, and I think that Hicks does. So I really like him. This is a very strong corner class. There's going to be lots of corners taken. We don't need an outside corner, though. We need a slot. And there's plenty of guys across the board here who can fit the bill of playing slot corner. We just made a number of signings here. Ray Davis, Darnell Washington on a pure throwaway deal, 1-year deal. It is a decent amount of money, right? We're looking at $8.5 million here. But for 1 year, that's our backup plan. If we can't get Josh Mann in the draft, Keon White, rotational player. We signed Olu Oluwatimi to be our backup center. We didn't have a backup center. He started some games for Seattle. As a backup, he's fine. I think I'm pretty much done here in free agency. We've shored up some holes. Now we have the draft. Time for us to set our private workouts to really nail down the guys that I want to take. I do need some information about a couple of guys that are probably going to be taken early. So I'm going to go ahead and make those decisions and then get back to you. Okay, so I have gone pretty chalk with my decisions for the focus scouting. We're going Josh Mann just to get the 100% scouting on him to really know that run blocking. And then we're going Glenn Ramsey and Carlos Oden to nail down these two edge rushers, just so I know if Ramsey's there, is he a trade-up guy? And then if we can't get Ramsey, does Oden fit? Let's see, Josh Mann, he comes in with that A run blocking. That's exactly what I wanted to see from him. These ratings are amazing. He absolutely is a target of mine. This is a no-brainer move for me at tight end. I have no concerns whatsoever about him. Easy. And then for the edge rushers, Glenn Ramsey comes in with a round 2 to 3 grade. Okay. Carlos Oden comes in with a round 1 to 2 grade. Very interesting. Okay then. Well, guys, I think a decision may have just been made for us. I do find it very funny that Devon Witherspoon is saying that he wants the Seahawks to upgrade their pass rush. Not like they have Max Crosby or anything. But let's go ahead and get this draft started. Here we are. The Browns are on the clock at first overall. Let's see where they go. It is Mike Studebaker, the left tackle. It's what the projected first overall pick was going to be. Let's see Mike come out here, give Roger Goodell a big hug. Whoa! That is some pink right there, my guy. I am digging it. Not sure about the blue tie, but my goodness. Okay, Mike Studebaker comes out, makes a fashion statement. He is the new blindside protector for Shedeur Sanders. Jets up at number 2. This is where the draft could go a bit of a couple of ways. They go tackle. Okay, this puts a plan that I have into motion. They draft a tackle. And this makes a certain tackle for the Jets expendable. In Olu Fashanu. Just a very quick side tangent here. Olu Fashanu led the league in sacks allowed last season. And the Jets, it appears they might be giving up on the former first-round pick out of Penn State. He's got superstar development. There's a lot about him that I really, really like. And we could get Fashanu. It would take quite the package of picks. But he is available. And I look at our tackle situation. We have a lot of developmental tackles. Eric Ramos has superstar. Whoa! Okay, I was expecting star for him. That is unexpected, I would say. Charles Grant, I'm not that impressed by him. I think Charles Grant was fine. I don't know if he's a guy that I would look at long term, though. We could improve at tackle. So I think a move for a guy like Fashanu is what we would want to do. Okay, but that's a move we could definitely come back to. Now the Giants are up at number 3. They go ahead and take Eli Lewis. He's the first edge rusher off the board. I wasn't expecting Lewis to be there when we selected anyway, so that's not much of a surprise to me. Eagles picking at number 4. Remember that run on corners is going to start. Eagles, they go ahead and take Bryson Crowder, another tackle. So we've had tackles and edge rushers go off the board. It's a great tackle class. Expect a run on them. Evan Anthony, he's the second edge rusher off the board to the Steelers at number 5. Saints at 6. They go ahead and take Glenn Lawrence. So that is first defensive tackle off the board. Now, I'm fully expecting the Cardinals to take quarterback here. I'm not going to stop them from taking their quarterback. Matthew Perry? Yes, it is. Arizona gets their new quarterback, which means that the Jets, I would presume, are going to be taking Glenn Ramsey here at number 8. They don't. They go with JT Farr. Okay. So Ramsey is falling. The mock draft is not 100% accurate. So Glenn Ramsey's falling. Now we need to play the game of figuring out exactly what is Glenn Ramsey worth compared to Carlos Oden. Oden, we're pretty confident in a round 1 to 2 grade. Kind of a late first guy. Ramsey, though. This is interesting. Commanders, Vikings, and us are his fits. Commanders and Vikings pick coming up. Odin, he's a fit with the Ravens, the Chargers, and the Saints. I mean, they're such similar players. How far does Lawrence fall? Keelan Riddick goes to the Bears. This is a guy I figured I would talk about him more, but it was very clear that we were going to be performing much better than where he was going to go. This guy's a guaranteed X Factor. I swear, he's A's in everything. He's a slot corner. He was my first target when I first saw this draft class because I thought, oh my goodness, he is amazing. But it became clear we weren't going to pick high enough to get him. He goes to the Bears. He's going to be amazing. We should be getting this run on corners now. Mike Whitlock, the first wide receiver, goes off the board to the Niners. Obviously, we have our own wide receiver target. Teams to watch out for Parker Griffin include the Chiefs and the Dolphins. And for Josh Mann, it is the Bengals, Jets, and Patriots. And then finally for Chauncey Cherry, it is the Vikings, Cowboys, and Falcons. So here we go. Dimitri Ridley goes to the Dolphins. We're going to see probably this run on corners start. There goes Deacon Harrington to Tennessee. Houston up at 13. Antonio Morgan. So the run on corner is happening. Vikings go Benjamin Lacey. So that was a possible destination for Glenn Ramsey. He does not go. Brett Edwards goes to the Falcons. Washington. They go tackle Miguel Salcedo. And now the Chargers. This is a spot where one of our guys could go. I wouldn't expect him to. Nope, they go tackle. Another tackle? Why? You got Joe Alt, Rashawn Slater, Braden Smith, and now you just draft Tony Martinez. Are you just building an offensive line made of tackles? Denver also goes with a tackle, so our two division rivals have gone with tackles. We have two more picks before us, the Jags and the Bills. Jacksonville goes tackle, Juan Cruz. And then Buffalo goes with Juan Meeks. So we have a decision to make. Let's just take a look at trade offers. I always want to look at these. Cleveland will give us a first. That is in 2 years. I don't want that. Seattle, that's a hefty price, but they're trying to get back into the first. This is their first round pick. They're going to try and get back from us. The Eagles at 36. No one wants to move up from this first round lot. So now I think it's time to make our pick. The way I see it, I am fine taking either one of Ramsey or Odin. I don't really care which one. So I think I want the draft to kind of come to me here. And as soon as one of them goes, then we pounce to get the other one. I think they're both good. They both have a similar skill set that I care about. Ramsey is a bit more athletic, but maybe not as highly rated, it appears, as Odin. But I would take either one. So I think we need to go with the guy that has a skill set that I just don't think I can turn away, which is Parker Griffin. Just checking, Josh Mann isn't projected to go for a while. The tight ends have not jumped off the board yet. Cherry's not supposed to go till 51. Yeah, guys. I think Parker Griffin is my pick here. So unfortunately, guys, last year, I made RAS cards for all of my draft picks. But it appears now that the RAS draft card calculator doesn't actually give you the cards. Well, that's really disappointing. Those were really fun to screenshot and see how athletic they were. But I mean, I don't think we need RAS to tell us that Parker Griffin is an amazing athlete. And I'm taking him. I'm taking him here. '70th in true value, we took him at 21. Looks the ball into his hands. Secure hands with defenders in vicinity. Catches will regularly make top 10 highlight reels. We get a B- on the pick. He has hidden development though. 93 speed, 73 strength. I like it. They'll consider this a bit of a reach. That's fine. The skill set is there. And we get our explosive receiver, and no one wanted to trade up. But we pick, in a couple of selections, we pick ahead of the Ravens. Let's see. Chiefs go with Rashad Bernard, a guard. So we're just waiting to see if any of these edge rushers drop. Angelo Payne. Now the Rams are on the clock. They go with a tight end, Gabriel Ross. So interesting, after signing Michael Mayer, they still take a tight end. Trent Williams, a corner, goes to the Panthers. Kurt Josephson, he's a very good guard. He goes to the Bucks, who they lost Cody Mauch in free agency. Oh no. Oh no. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. We just drafted... Oh my god. What did I just do? No. I don't even know who Jermichael Curtis is. No, I just absolutely screwed myself up so badly, man. You've got to be kidding me. I just took a quarterback in the first round. By complete accident, I simmed my pick. I'm so dumb, and it took a quarterback. How do I fix this? How do I fix this? Why did it draft a quarterback for me? No. There's no way. We'll fix this. I will fix it. Don't worry, we'll figure it out. Oh my gosh. Well, we might have to do some more trading. Carlos Odin goes. Okay. We gotta call the Jets. We're gonna figure it out. We'll fix it. It'll be a bit messy. Oh my gosh. I tried to back out as soon as it happened, but we couldn't. I couldn't back out. You want Genty? Dude, no. Go away. You're not getting Ashton Genty. One of our thirds. That's the Eagles' third. Can I counteroffer with a different third? I will give you a third. I don't want to give you that third. I will give you this third from me. Alright, they do it. Alright, well, I wanted to use my picks anyways to trade up. But we're just having to trade up a little bit more than I thought we would have to. Alright, now we are drafting Glenn Ramsey. We made a bit of a mistake. We made a bit of an oopsie. But we've moved up with our first round pick from next year and one of our thirds from this year to take an edge rusher. Glenn Ramsey, who I really, really like. I think he's going to be extremely good. Comes as number 58 player in true talent. Let's see, what's the development? It's hidden. That's all I care about. Elite athlete off the edge. That's all I care about. We get a pick. All right. We still have to figure out what we're doing with our other pick, or try and get some picks back for this quarterback we drafted. Basically, I think my hope is that the Browns don't draft a quarterback and I can just pawn him off to the Browns and get a fair pick back. All right, Ashton Sarah goes to the Patriots. We gotta lock in now and focus again on this. Josh Mann's not supposed to go till 67, and Chauncey Cherry till 51. But we know that these guys that are very talented can go earlier. So Cherry, Vikings, Cardinals, Bears are who we are concerned about. I think I'm more worried about Cherry going right now because he's a top linebacker on the board. But none of those teams pick. Vikings, Cardinals, Bears, none of those pick yet. And we're out of the first round. Jeez. What a mess. I think I want to get ahead of the Cardinals, because the Bears pick there also. So I think what I'll do is I'll probably call the Saints. Please, Browns, don't take a quarterback. They don't. They take Rich Mayer, a center. Okay, so my plan is I'm basically going to pawn the quarterback off to the Browns and get a first-round pick back. Or something. Just give me something to get this quarterback off my team. I will give him to the Browns. Cliff Ray, he's a speedster. He goes to the Eagles. Let's call New Orleans and make a move for this. Sergio Matias, no, not happening. They want a lot. Dude, what in the world? They want a heck of a lot. I don't know if I can justify that price. But I might have to. We already gave up. We're gonna get a 1 back. I'm gonna make sure we get something back for the quarterback that we took, because EA drafted him. He wasn't even on my board. I don't even know what that was about. So let's start with this and see, like, what does that get me? Oh, that gets me very close. So my 2 next year, and then one of my 3s, the worst of my 3s. We still keep the Eagles 3, which is very good. So let's hang on to that, and we'll give him the 7. And we will be on the clock? No. Come on, Saints. Penny pinching me. Fine. Here, take a 7th round pick 23 picks earlier. No. Okay. We're on the board now. We're on the clock. And I'm going to be taking linebacker Chauncey Cherry. Elite athlete at linebacker. Cody Barton's a free agent at the end of the year. I think we can do a very similar thing to what we did with Sergio Matias. Draft Cherry, have him develop a year, get that coverage a little bit better. The athleticism's awesome. I have no worries about him. The only thing that concerns me at all is F injury, but he's a very good player. I think it's worth the risk. Chauncey Cherry is our pick here. Ranked 50 in true value, quick enough to stay with most tight ends, plays with good football IQ, willing tackler that rarely misses. Sounds good to me. Hidden development, 91 speed. Wow. There we go. There we go. We're 3 for 3 so far in our picks. Now, Josh Mann is the last one left. After Josh Mann, I really don't care how the rest of the draft goes. Mann, there's a lot of tight ends ahead of him. The threats that we're worried about, the Patriots, the Bengals, the Texans. We will pick ahead of both the Patriots and the Bengals. The Texans pick soon. Are they threats for all of these tight ends? Yes. Okay, so they could take any of the tight ends. All these tackles and linemen are going. That is good for us. Just keep on sending players down the board that we care about. Texans are up. All right, let's see here. Is this a tight end. It is not. They go Jeremy Przinski, a tackle. So I feel pretty good about Josh Mann making it to us. The Bengals and Patriots are the two threats that could take him. There are lots of other tight ends on the board still. Okay, first tight end off the board here. It is Nathan Richards. He was the #1 tight end, I believe. Yes, he was. So, but there's still Josh Velasco. The Jets are seen as a threat to take him. Trumaine Allen. And then Josh Mann. Just making sure that no one surprising is supposed to take Mann. I don't think the Jets are going to have a pick between now and us. They are not. We have 8 picks until we are up. We're getting to a point now where I think we're pretty safe. Just don't sim my dang pick again. Carolina takes a quarterback, Mike St. Clair. Okay, so this actually works out very well for us because then we can give the Browns our quarterback that we just drafted. All right. Despite my monumental screw up, we have made it to our pick, and we are not messing around here. We're taking Josh Mann, and we have made the 4 picks that I really care about. Let's go ahead and do it. You already know Josh Mann. He's amazing. Let's draft him. 74th in true talent. I don't know what they're talking about. This guy's awesome. Hidden development. He's got the speed. He's got the strength. He's got the run blocking. He's got everything. The injury is fine. A injury. That's often not the case with these players. But look at all those A's. Amazing. This is our Michael Mayer replacement. He's a much better athlete than Mayer. Hidden development. He's young. He's big. He's got everything. Everything. So we've done it. We've fixed all of my screw-ups. All of my screw-ups. So now we can relax. We will get something for our quarterback that we just drafted. We'll be nice. We'll give him to the Browns or something. Get something. We might, not recoup all the value, but you know what? I'll work with it. It seems like I have a draft folly every single year. All right. And that is the second round. We pick very early here. So I'm going to get to our pick. There's no one that stands out to me right now that I feel like, yes, we absolutely need. Browns take a tight end. Is there anyone on my board here that I look at and say, yes, I care about? We do have that corner, CJ Hicks, who I really, really like. It might be worth it to take him here. But I don't have a ton of other players. My next pick isn't until round 5. The Jets want to move up with a number of picks. You know what? Let's talk, New York. Let's talk. I have an idea. Okay, we are close on this. My idea, the Jets could use a wide receiver. They have Juju Smith-Schuster and Jalen Naylor as the backups, or the number 2 and number 3, along with Garrett Wilson. They just drafted a tackle. They don't need Olu Fashanu. We don't need Jack Bash because we drafted Parker Griffin. And I'm trying to get their late 3rd while giving up my good 3rd. Okay, the Jets won't do a Fashanu trade yet. But I do think we need to recoup a little bit of value. We don't have a lot of picks next year. I mean, no. You know what? No. I have my guy. My guy's here. My guy is available. I'm going to take him. I'm not going to play. I'm not going to play around. I get this guy, and I really don't care how the rest of the draft goes. CJ Hicks. Corner from Missouri. I think he's a slot corner. I think he's an elite slot corner. He's very strong. His acceleration's great. The combine's certainly good enough. The tackling's awesome. His ratings are really, really good. Smart player. Man coverage needs some work, but he's instinctive in zone. I'm taking him. This is my guy. Round 1 grade, 13th in true talent. Let's go, baby. Show me the dev. Hidden. There we go. Good enough athlete. Good enough. All right. Well, we don't pick for a while. And there's not much left on my board. So we're going to go ahead and sim to our next pick. All right. Welcome to the end of the 5th round, everybody. We have one more selection here. Let me take a look and just see what is available. We have on my favorites board, not much. Not much left. Nothing here that I'm really all that interested in. So you know what? I'm going to say that this will be a very light draft with 5 draft picks, all at extremely valuable positions of need, however. And I need some draft picks for next year, because my gosh, do we not have any. But Tampa will give me a 5 plus a 7 this year. We could trade the 7 and get something. That's what most of these teams are giving me. So I'll take Tampa's pick. All right. So now we're not going to pick until the 7th round, but I don't have any targets. I don't have any targets left. I am pretty fine with getting to the 7th round. We can take some trade offers here and get on out of here. It's a short draft, but a very, very impactful one. I am very excited about what we have. A 2028 6th round pick from the Colts, who are probably going to be quite bad. We're going to load up on 6th rounders next year, and we'll be able to recoup some value. Okay, that makes the end of a very dramatic draft. Now, first things first. I guess we want to see how good our picks were, right? Let's go ahead and see that first. Show me the money. 57! Oh my god! Jermichael Oh my lord, what a waste of my... Why did EA take him? Oh, Jermichael Curtis is terrible. But let's start with the picks that we actually like. Parker Griffin, 1st round pick out of UCLA. Comes in 73 overall. Hidden development, that's what we care about. Let's check out these ratings though. Speed, excellent. Catch and traffic, spec catch in the mid 80s already is very good. The short route running and release at that point is very nice. Run block at a 60. I really like Parker Griffin. I really like him. Jermichael Curtis, yeah, well, I'll try and figure something out. Glenn Ramsey also comes in with that hidden development. Let's see, what does a finesse move get us? 79. Okay. Strength, not great, but we're going to focus on putting that strength and that block shedding up. 96 injury, that's very nice. He's definitely athletic. He's very, very athletic. Chauncey Cherry, the athletic field general linebacker. Good size, 6'2", 235. I mean, the athleticism is insane. Coverages need some work, just like Sergio Matias did, but I mean, this athleticism, just, you can't compete with that. You can't compete with that kind of athleticism, man. That's nuts. And then finally, Josh Mann for our 2nd round picks. Mann, what's that run block? What's that A run block get me? 67. I'll take it. I will take that. That's very nice. I like him a lot. The athleticism looks really good. A little bit raw in the route running department, but everything else about him, I mean, he looks great. Close to home. Alaska? You're from Alaska? And then finally, CJ Hicks comes in 78 overall. My gosh. yeah, that round 1 grade sure did mean something. Hicks. He's a very impressive athlete. Great in zone coverage already. The tackling's in a pretty good spot. I love it. I love it. I mean, he could start in the slot day 1 instead of Mekhi Blackman. Now, the question is, what do we do with you, Jermichael Curtis? He's terrible. EA, why? Why? I understand it's my fault 100% that I took him and I simmed the pick, but why did it take him? Of all the people that it could have been, what can I get for him? Can I get anything for him? Is this even salvageable in any possible way? Oh my god. There are no teams. Please. He was a first rounder. Come on, Cleveland. Give me your first round pick for him. You know you want to. No, you don't. Oh my. Well, you know what? I think that maybe we got caught. Oh, well, okay. Well, we've just sent him to the Browns for a sixth round pick. I was going to say maybe we got caught tampering. But no, we've just sent Jermichael Curtis away. All right, Cleveland got him for a 6th rounder. You know what? You're welcome, Cleveland. Maybe we were tampering. You know what? Maybe we tampered with... Let's say we tampered with the long snapper. I think that's a fair storyline. Oh my. Next year, we have a 3, a 5, 5 6s, and a 7. This is messy. This is so messy. This is terrible. What did I do? This is bad. But let's go hit up the Jets and see if they are willing to trade us Fashanu now. I am Les Snead, and I am saying F them picks. We have traded Jack Besh in our 2nd round pick next year, 2029, to the Jets for Olu Fashanu. We get a very, very good tackle in exchange for Besh, who was not going to be much of an impact on the roster anymore with Griffin's selection. So we are missing a pick because of my goof of simulating my own selection. But that's okay. We were tampering. We will figure it out. But let's head to next week. We can go ahead. I don't believe... Can we sign free agents? No. UDFAs are next week. So, yeah, there's a superstar dev kicker in UDFA territory. 99 kick power, AJ Marks. I actually had him on my board. I really, really liked him. I considered taking him, but I did not because we needed to capitalize on all of our picks and trading them away to make up for my goof of taking a quarterback in the 1st round on accident. So I'm going to go ahead and make the signing of AJ Marks. Daniel Carlson, he's fine, but I mean, a superstar dev kicker is a superstar dev kicker. I mean, that's just better. So we're going to sign Marks to a contract. It most likely spells the end of Carlson's time in Vegas. How does a superstar development defensive tackle sound? Sterling Haynes, a nose tackle out of LSU. He's very raw right now, but he's big, he is strong, and he can stop the run. Tommy Donaldson is a great defensive tackle. I think he's more than a nose, though. And Haynes, he honestly has quite the opportunity to play a big role in this defense with us, not bringing back Johnny Newton. He's a guy that we could develop over a year or two and then kind of unleash on the league in a year when he's developed a little bit more. So I actually really like that move. What is with these guys that we're finding here? Superstar edge rusher Justin Cruz. He's not much of a player right now, but he's got finesse moves. Why not? Oh my god. Guys, this is getting ridiculous. Tyree Irwin, another superstar development player. This time at corner. I do like that these guys are available as undrafted free agents because there's no guarantee these guys develop. But and we can actually see like players grow and take big leaps. So that's really, really cool. But man, hey guys, check it out. Another superstar dev UDFA. This time Tom Lawson at tackle. We'll just add him to the list. This is utter insanity. Just another superstar dev defensive tackle. What is going on? Well, everybody, I think that is going to do it. What an off season this was. We made a ton of moves when it came to the draft, getting what I think is true superstar talent or potential to be superstar talent. And we have a ton of young players to go ahead and develop with our UDFA selections. We were also pretty active in free agency, made some moves I think improved our depth. I definitely think we got better this offseason. I'm going to go ahead and make some changes when it comes to just appearances and positions to get everything balanced out. And then I'm going to do the same exact thing that I did last preseason, which is I play the games and then just upload a breakdown of what happened in the preseason to the channel, and you guys will get to watch that then. So hopefully you go ahead, enjoy this. Make sure that you get yourself caught up if you're new to the series. If you like the video, go ahead, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll be back with the preseason in a little bit. I have a work trip. I will be out of town for 3 days next week, so I will not be available to upload. My goal is to get this off season uploaded so there's not too much of a gap between this and the preseason, but there will be a little bit of a gap between this and my next video. Hopefully you guys understand that. YouTube does make me some money, but certainly not enough money to ignore my actual job. So hopefully you enjoy the off season and hold you over, and hopefully you get a bit of anticipation going into year 3. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.